Hello, this is 7th series booklet that starts with Music Finds a Home. Tutorial, hopefully 30 minutes, maybe even less. We'll get through as many pages in about that amount of time as we can. So if our pencils are ready, if you're planning on turning this in, you should probably put your name on the front of the booklet. I'll put mine on just to demonstrate, as I used to when I did these regularly in classes years ago. So Music Finds a Home. What has 5 lines and 4 spaces? We should all know this. The word's been used around a lot and in the videos. It's a staff. It's not a racetrack, not a clothesline, not a garden fence, but the music staff. And there's our reminder for that. The music staff does indeed have 5 lines and 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Notice I counted going up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spaces also counted going up. This becomes a musical home for measures, notes, rhythms, rests, and everything you will find in music. What happens when you place a whole note, that thing, 4 beats usually, on that musical staff? It becomes a space note, or a note between 2 lines of the staff, which is the space between the 2 lines. And there's 4 space notes. Or it becomes a line note, a note with a staff line running directly through the middle of the note. And there it's showing you the line notes. Okay? Should be review. Under each note below, write S for space note or L for line note. Examples are given. So this first one, they put an S because the whole note sits in the space. Okay? The next one, they put L because this whole note has the line going through it, so it's not in between spaces. Okay? So this one should look like that one, as it doesn't have a line going through it. So it's a space note. This one also doesn't have a line going through it. It's between the lines in that space. So it's also an S. Okay, continuing on. This one's on the top line. Has a line going through it, just like this one did. And you can also see these up here as well. If I stay out of the way, you can see them better. Okay, 4th line. Second space. It's good to identify these before we actually give them their letter names, right, on the in the different clefs, because there are 2 clefs we often work with, and we've done songs about those. 3rd line, 4th line, 4th space. 4th line, bottom space, top space, middle line. Whoops, I went ahead and identified that as what it normally is in treble clef, which is B, which when I do this as a lecture, or did this as a lecture years ago, we would actually take the steps and identify them. I'll spare us of that for now. So let's turn the page, go to the back, and since this is on the back, I don't see the need really to write name. Some people also like to fill in the teacher blank, the date blank, the class blank. All right. Okay. So we have a recipe for a song. Take one music staff, add a treble clef, a time signature, bar lines and measures, then stir in a few familiar notes, and you just might cook up one great song. That's what the composers of the tunes below did. For each song, write the name of each note in the blanks below, then sing each tune in 2 different ways. Actually, I usually skip that one, even when we're together in class. Now, so did you notice, I mean, we've done over and over, E, G, B, D, F, every good boy does fine. And I bet some of you would even remember the echo on E, G, B, D, F, right? So they started you with the bottom line note that you should already know, E. Now, maybe this note has been regularly covered, but I would imagine, a little logic here, they put a D there for you because it is the note lower than the E note, and it's the letter in the alphabet before E. The next one, following the same logic, would be the letter before D in the alphabet, which is C. By the way, that's middle C. We'll see middle C above the bass clef at some point, but that's where it is below the treble clef. Oh, treble clef, we love you, treble clef, right? That's why we're doing those songs. I went ahead and just put that D in only because it's the same note as over there, which means this one is the bottom line, E, E, G, B, D, F, or it's the same one as over here. Guess what? That's the same pitch, and that's the same pitch. This one looks like the same as over here, D. Yep. And then, okay, let's see. Well, we might remember that treble clef is also called G clef because it circles the second line and marks it G, or E, G, B, D, F, right? Huh, that happens to spell the word egg. E for D, C. Again, did you see there's even a repeat of the pattern? And of course, if we know Mary had a little lamb, we know that. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, his fleece was white as snow. Okay, so there's 4 E's there, so that kind of breaks the pattern a little bit. This goes down to D. Fleece was white as snow. Ta-da! Okay. Right, this next one here, by the way, Mary Had a Little Lamb with different notes, unless you're clarinet or trumpet or tenor sax, is this way in our band book. New Worlds. This would be the same as most band books, number 118, I think. But it's usually a very slow tune. It's adapted from the Largo movement of Symphony No. 5, The New World by Anton Dvorak. Yes, that is actually how you say his name, Dvorak. There's the dates he lived in. Okay. So I got the same thing going on down here. In fact, this is going to involve all the same notes that Mary Had a Little Lamb did. So, bottom line, every girl. Now remember, I like to be more inclusive, so I don't always say every good. I say every girl and boy does fine. You know, I have 3 girls, right? I want to include them. E, G, 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 E, D, C, C, right? And you can get those from up there. I mean, I know I'm zooming, but some of you need me to zoom, and some of you need me to go slower. You can always slow the playback of this down or speed it up. Okay, there's your first line. E, D, C, C, D, E, G, D. This one starts out again. Ooh, that measure looks pretty close. This one just has a little bit of a different last couple of notes. E, G, 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 E, D, C, C, D, E, D, C, C. Okay? I'm just giving it a couple extra seconds. Well, I could sing it while you're catching up. With my telescope I see 1,000 twinkling stars. Do you think that brand new worlds might not be very far? I think I have had our classes sing these now that I think about it. But again, it's been a few years. But it was my plan to get back to this right after our spring concert this year. Okay. On another day, we would do these next couple pages. Music style shuffle. Again, not necessary to write your name. I will tell you that when I was a young student, I had an obsession. Of course, I didn't write that. I was writing my first name in those days. Okay. Music style shuffle. Our music styles have been working so hard, they've worked themselves into a jumble. Now that it's relaxation day, help them chill out by rearranging the letters in each group to spell a music, style, or era. The first one has been done for you. Okay? So, all these words should not make any sense, although this one, wear a body, unscrambles to be Broadway. Some of these you might have to guess, and I know many of you have the internet. It's a good way to look these things up, right? You could look up music styles, give you a list of music styles or something, okay? I don't actually use answer keys for these. I have them somewhere, but because I did teach out of these series for years, I just happen to remember that that second one is classical. Okay? You might even see this in our daily newspaper if you get it, the Junior Jumble, or the Jumble, right? Because we're going to be taking these circled letters and unscrambling them for answering a question down at the bottom of the page, which I'll show you later. Okay? I'm going to slide this up. So this next one, by the way, classical is the era of music between roughly 1750 to 1825. Beethoven, Mozart, Joseph Haydn, Franz Joseph Haydn, all fit in that era. Baroque is the era that includes Johann Sebastian Bach and Georg Friedrich Handel, or George Handel. Okay. All right. Okay, so Baroque. And of course the joke, don't fix it if it's not Baroque. Okay. Now, I remember that sometimes when I have a room full of kids, everybody's pretty good at remembering these. It took me, honestly, a second. I was stalling to remember that that's blues. Okay. This next one, again, styles of music. This would be rap. It does involve rhythm, so it is music. Okay, the next one, well, let's see. I'm even trying to remember it as I go. I think what you can do, as I will model here, is since I can't remember it right now, I'm going to skip it and go on to, nope, I remember it now. Did you guys know I really can think while I ramble? Swing. To swing or not to swing. I've got to do a jazz unit with everybody sometime. That was planned for the end of the year too. Okay, Tom Rayson. Okay, so Latin would be, representative of, say, south of the United States. Swing, not an even steady version of music like most, but more like this and kind of gallops as it go. Okay. All right, obviously I'm stalling again because I'm trying to remember what this one is. Romantic. It's the time era of music between 1825 and 1900, roughly. Okay. The next one, rock. Although, look at that. Cork actually makes a word. Folk. That's what our concert was going to be mostly on this year. I've never actually gotten to do, in my 20 years so far of teaching, a folk concert, and I really wanted this one to be that. I might keep it for next year, who knows. Hip-hop. It took me a minute even looking at this one, okay, but it's there. Country, 12. We've had a few country singers die in recent weeks. Many of you know that's not my favorite, but I do enjoy a great deal of country. So I'm sad with that too. And reggae, the last bit. Right now I can't think of too many examples of reggae. It's actually under the Latin, and I'm just not as familiar with that as I should be. It's not meant to say anything at all. Okay, so they give you a scratch pad over here. It gives you a chance to, you can write down the letters. I'm going to write them down in order. D-A-B-S. So I'm writing down the circle letters here. I'm kind of glad it does that for us here. N, T, C, O, O, N, A. I think I got it. The middle word is and for sure. I don't want to just give it away to you. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to cross out DNA and N. And one thing you can do is just rewrite the letters, as you pull them out. Okay. Well, I see, if the question, Klassy, you're not sliding it up. Shame on you. And of course, if we were in the classroom, you would tell me, and you know I would give you full permission. Just do it nicely. Little sarcasm's okay. You know I don't mind that. Okay, bacon, which I just cannot live without. Love it. A-C-O-N. About now I'd say something about my figure. Oversized and... Okay. I have fond memories of you guys. I really do. Even my time wasters. Bacon and toast. There. So yeah, sometimes it does work better when we're working on these together, but I was trying to get some stuff together, and I never know when family emergencies are gonna come up, which you guys know they did this year. Okay. From Sea to Shining Sea. Some of you have done a song as a solo of that in past variety show years, and there were even some planning on doing that again this year. I think siblings. Anyway, and somebody is going to play it on flute. Anyway, yes, you're getting the true me as we're doing this. From C to Shining Sea. You've heard about middle C to G on the treble clef staff. That was back here on our first day. And I used to only give these, you know, one page at a time, but I think having the booklet gives us a chance to go back. Ah, there it was. The recipe for a song page, right? We had our C to E, C to G stuff. Okay. So they're now introducing A, which we also should know from those songs we've done over the years. A is the space note, sits between 2 and 3 of the staff. F, A, C, E, face, right? B is a line note with the third line of the staff running through it. E, G, B, D, F. C is a space note. It sits between lines 3 and 4 of the staff. Okay. Study the note chart below and complete the following exercises. So we have A. Yep, I mean, you got that there to help you, right? So all I gotta do is fill it in. Yeah, okay, that one's the third line. Okay, if I don't remember my mnemonic, you know, this is why we use and choose and mnemonics use. Guess who still doesn't know the words? I'm hoping to redo all of those during this break to actually put the lyrics in for us. Oh, some of you are great guessers of the lyrics. Still way better than me. I don't mind admitting that. So I'm just going to zip along for now. Actually, in the hopes that you were doing this while I was babbling. Okay. Oops, move out of the way, Mr. Klassy. Make a better wall and a window. Okay. So there's C. Okay. And both C's. We have that middle C we talked about earlier, and then the higher C. And then A, and then E, D, F, B, G, D, and B. Okay? All right, just give you a little chance to catch up there. And of course, again, you can use the chart up here to help you. I mean, I wasn't born with this knowledge. Okay, I had to learn it too. I took piano lessons extra in 4th and 5th grade, which helped. Okay, and you know, we don't have a keyboard lab that we can all do that. And if I gave this for homework, you know, under normal circumstances, I don't know how much of it would really come through. So, anyway, using whole notes, draw each note. Okay. Now, some of you are going to say, but Mr. Klassy, there's also a top E up there. If you're one of those that get that, you may go ahead and put it in. I'll model that. Okay? We're mainly, again, only talking about middle C to C. Okay? But by 5th grade, which I'm pretty sure that's all I assigned this booklet to. What was I saying? Oh, by 5th grade, you should know this. I mean, we had to learn all this stuff that we were doing as younger kids. Yeah. Okay. I just never would have thought I'd be doing. I've always wanted to record some lessons like this at home and use them for the days I'm gone, you know, for a sub to pop in. I am going to put this on DVD. I have a lot of VHSs in the basement, tapes that, you know, if I have subs that are more comfortable with that, they could maybe pop that in. Looks like we're going to have time to do it. Okay, so I'll back that off. Okay, so I try to make sure my space notes, like A, fits between the lines. Okay, there's that D below the staff that we saw in an example earlier. Middle C is the line below, the ledger line, by the way. And just for grins and giggles, I'll go ahead and show you. You don't need to write these in, but I'll show you other places where F's and G's and A's. When you talk, you know what, I'm going to show you the high. There's a high C. Could be right up there, 2 lines up, or it could be 1 line below. Okay. D could be also there. We've already shown you this. Oh, you know what? I could show you where another A could be. It could be 2 lines below. This would be the top line of bass clef, by the way. And sometimes it gets messy putting all these lines on, so that's one reason we have bass clef. B, I skipped one. I could show you that B is above the ledger line, above the top, or over here. Oh, there we go. Over here, I can show you it's below the bottom line below. Okay, middle C. And we are just sailing along. Ha 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 ha. Okay. All right. Now, as you can tell, see, there we had one earlier that said August on top. This one says September. You know, when I put all this together years ago, sadly, I think it was the year you guys were born, I had intended for these to be, you know, a daily thing before we did warm-ups and singing and recorders or guitars or whatever other instruments, and you know, things just kind of got in the way. I think maybe we'll be able to go back to it now, I hope. All right, no work, just play for Labor Day. This is actually a take 2 here. I had to pause to answer a phone call a minute ago. And the take 2 is because I thought I hit the record button for the video. No, I didn't. So I was starting with you know work, just play for Labor Day. And I had decided that we probably should put up a reminder of the lines of treble clef, which is every girl and boy does fine, E, G, B, D, F. Elephants go bouncing down freeways. Elvis guitar broke down Friday. Empty garbage before dad flips. You know, we have that whole song that we've done many times. F-A-C-E, face. We've done that one many times, okay? So you're going to see already, I try to erase these, but sometimes erasers don't do enough. So this is about Labor Day. Number 1, second space A, second letter of face. Third word of our E-G-B, so it's B. Labor Day is observed on the first Monday in September. Number 2, the first Labor Day blank took place in the city of New York in 1882. The word starts with a C and then has the top space E, F-A-C-E, right? Has the top space E again. Okay, so it's also an E. Every good boy, every girl and boy, whichever one you prefer, and it finishes out the word celebration. The first Labor Day celebration took place in the city of New York in 1882. In 1887, Oregon, blank, the first state to make Labor Day a legal holiday. So we have E-G-B, bottom line E, all these are treble clef, so we're sticking with those that we know, F-A-C and F-A. Okay? In 1894, President Grover blank signed a bill making Labor Day a national holiday. Of course, we might know that the last name of a president that had the first name Grover. There weren't that many. And no, I'm not talking about the Blue Muppet on Sesame Street. The one that isn't Cookie Monster, anyway. I'm sure many of you know remember he's my favorite. Okay, So, Grover Cleveland signed a bill making Labor Day a national holiday in 1894. Labor Day has come to symbolize the end of summer and the beginning of blank. Well, logic would probably tell you that a four-letter word with LL at the end would be a season, but it's F, bottom space, A, second space, like F-A-C-E, except this is F-A-L-L, fall. Number 6, Labor Day honors all working people. It was Peter J. McGuire who first suggested a blank for the holiday. E, both E's, top space, bottom line, fourth line, D. Okay? This being the 5th page, I think I'm going to pause our efforts there for now on this one and make another one later on.